Aging is one of the only things that we haven't learned how to eradicate. We've eliminated the plague, smallpox, and other diseases which used to haunt our ancestors. We still have a long way to go with cancer, Alzheimer's, dementia, and diabetes, yes, but aging leads us to most of these diseases. Aging in itself should be considered a disease. The only question is, how do we eliminate it just like the diseases of the past? Hello, and welcome to Let's Talk About, a podcast where we talk about science, tech, money, and history. I'm your host, the host, and in this week's episode, we'll be talking about how to make our lives healthier and longer with longevity. Longevity is already a field of study. But in order to understand what longevity is, we must know what makes us age. If you don't know what the factors that influence aging are, I'll give you a quick run through. If you do know what the factors of aging are, please don't spoil it for everyone and keep listening. One of the most dominant factors of aging is telomere maintenance. Quoting from a paper titled Human Telomere Biology, a contributory and interactive factor in aging, disease risks, published in the Science Journal, telomere attrition can lead to potentially maladaptive cellular changes, block cell division, and interfere with tissue replacement. In case you didn't get that, you know how when we age, our bodies recover less and slower from injuries? Well, it's because of our telomeres wearing away. Well, at least to some degree. Every time a cell divides or does mitosis, the chromosomes inside your cell wear away at the ends, becoming shorter and shorter. To mitigate this, our body came up with a hack. That hack was telomeres. They're put at the end of chromosomes to protect those ends, just like the plastic bits at the end of your shoelaces. Now, when telomeres are worn off completely, genetic damage happens, which then leads to lower mitosis rates, slower regeneration, and potentially cancer. Some percentage of this is attributed to DNA, like how long your telomeres are when you're born. That's the bad news. Here's the good news. According to a paper titled The Epigenetic Regulation of Telomere Maintenance in Aging, published in Chapter 5 of the journal titled Epigenetics of Aging and Longevity, telomere attrition, or the shortening of telomeres, is mitigated by how active the telomerase is. Telomerase is an enzyme that adds nucleotides to telomeres. If you don't know what a nucleotide is, pay more attention in science class. Now, telomere activity is partially controlled by genes, but it's also controlled by epigenetic factors, meaning you have some control over this. The paper also mentions that telomere length is also partially determined by epigenetic factors, such as how healthy you are. And a lot of things cause us to age, by the way, not just telomere length. Diet, stress, alcohol intake, how much our cells replicate are all examples of the things that make us age. Now, here's the fun part. With technology, we could slow or even reverse aging. This is the field of longevity research and technology. My personal favorite is stem cell therapy. Stem cells are cells that can turn into any cell in the body and are used by the body to regenerate tissue after an injury. In our youth, we are indestructible. We feel like we could fall into the sun and come out the other side unscathed. Okay, maybe not that indestructible, but we can recover from injury a lot easier than older people because of stem cells. The younger you are, the more stem cells you have. We use up stem cells because of the wear and tear our body gets over time. When we're old, it takes a lot longer to heal. What stem cell therapy does is that it extracts stem cells from you when you're younger, refrigerates them to make sure that they're still alive. Then it's administered into a region of your body that's suffering from injury when you're older. I know it sounds simple, but trust me, it's not. According to an article titled Stem Cell Therapy in Perspective, published in a journal titled Circulation, Volume 107, Issue 7, stem cells are split into two different types: embryonic stem cells and adult stem cells. Embryonic stem cells are found inside the embryo. These are the fastest dividing cells in the human body. However, they're found only inside the embryo. Adult stem cells, however, can be found everywhere in the body. These are the ones that heal your injuries. But compared to embryonic stem cells, they divide a lot slower. Stem cell therapy could be done with either type, but adult stem cells are the best candidate. Embryonic stem cells have multiple disadvantages. According to the same article we just cited earlier, embryonic stem cells' disadvantages are ethical obligations to its use. It's difficult to isolate. There's a risk that the body would reject them. Arrhythmogenic potential, meaning that it could cause the cells in the heart's myocardium to die. Then there's a risk of tetrocarcinoma, which is a malignant germ cell tumor, according to the book Essentials of Stem Cell Biology, 3rd edition. Not to mention that it's not ready for clinical application for the next 1 to 2 decades. No wonder adult stem cells won. Now, just to be clear, there are thousands of different treatments and technologies that can make our lives longer and healthier. Unfortunately, I can't go that far in depth because it's like reading the whole English dictionary under 1 minute, or in our case, 5 to 15 minutes. Instead, we'll talk about them in future episodes. Despite all this, there are some ethical complications to consider. For example, will we still retire at the same age we normally do? If we have to postpone our retirement and work for longer, then it's just not ideal. We aren't robots who'll work all the time. Then, if we retire at the same age, we need to save a lot more. Let's say that we manage to extend the average human lifespan to 150 years. If we normally retire at the ages of 60 to 70, then we'd have around 80 to 90 years of retirement ahead of us. That's a lot of money we need to get to finance our retirement. Extending the years of how healthy we are and removing the process of aging is understandable. We should definitely do this and invest a lot more as a society into these types of technologies. However, extending human lifespan would be a big change to how we live our lives. So here's my take on this situation. We should eliminate aging and age-related diseases, thereby extending our health span. For lifespan, however, we should slowly increase how long we live to ease society into this. This is my personal take on this, so take it with a grain of salt. Well, that was an interesting episode, wasn't it? If you want to give ideas for the next topic of the next episode, email us at letustalkabout@outlook.com. And our website link is in the description for 24/7 access to all our episodes. Oh, and don't forget to like, share, and follow us on whatever listening platform you listen to. And let's talk about something next week. Goodbye.